Alright guys, how we doing today? It'd be nice if I actually had a screen up here so we can look. There's my screen. Alright. So, we're going to look at last night's homework, which is PreAP homework 4.4a. And this is the unit on customary and metric unit conversions. So let's look at number 1. The track surrounding a football field is 1/4 miles long. How many yards long is the track? So we are comparing miles and yards. So I'm going to create a nice little one chart. So let's go ahead and look at our star chart. Oh, here we go. 1 mile is equivalent to 1,760 yards. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards. But I'm not going to go 1 mile. I decide I want to go out of shape and just be kind of lazy, so I'm only going to go 1/4 of a mile. Alright, well, let's find my scale factor. To get from 1 to 1,760, I multiplied by 1,760. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can turn this 1/4 into a decimal, which would be 0.25. And you could multiply it by 1,760, or you could take the 1,760 and divide it by 4, because you're only going 1/4 of a mile. Either way, you will get the same answer. I'm going to go ahead and do the division because I think it's easier. 4 can go into 17 4 times. 4 can go into 16 4 times. Well, that leaves this extra 0. Bring him up. So this person went 440 yards and said, I'm done, I'm going home. That's enough exercise for me for one day. Alright, so here we go. Number 2. Cell phones can weigh as little as 56 grams. How many kilograms can the cell phone weigh? So here we are comparing grams and kilograms. So again, let's look at our star chart because we're going to have to use this on the test. So I need kilograms. Oh, here it is on the bottom. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Well, I don't want 1,000 grams. I want 56 grams. Alright, so let's find my scale factor. To go from 1 to 1,000, I had to multiply by 1,000. But look at the direction of my arrow. I'm going from small to big. Now I'm going the opposite direction. So instead of multiplying by 1,000, I have to divide by 1,000. So here we go. 1,000 divided by 56. Well, can 1,000 go into 56? No, so I'm going to add a decimal, add a 0. Can 1,000 go into 560? No, so I'm going to add a 0 up here and add a 0 down here. Can 1,000 go into 5,600? Yeah, I can go in there 5 times. A 1,000 can't go into 600, but since I have a remainder, you have to add a 0. How many times can 1,000 go into 6,000? Goes in there 6 times. And there's your answer. 0.056 kilograms. Alright, number 3. The height of Niagara Falls is 56 meters. How many kilometers high is Niagara Falls? So here we are comparing meters to kilometers. So let's look at our little star chart again. Meters and kilometers. Where are we at? Ah, here we are. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. But I don't want to go 1,000 meters. I want to go 56 meters. Alright, well this setup is actually the same as number 2. I just switched the order a little bit. So to go from 1,000 to 1, you have to divide by 1,000. Well, I'm going the same direction here, so divide by 1,000. And we got lucky because it's the same work as up here. So you're still going to get 0.056. And some of you are going to say, well, that's the same answer, Mr. Noland. Well, it is somewhat. The numbers are the same, but the measurements are different, which means those answers aren't actually the same. This is kilograms. This is kilometers. 2 different measurements. Same number, different measurements. Alright, let's look at number 4. The Statue of Liberty weighs 450,000 pounds. How many tons does the statue weigh? So here we are comparing pounds and tons. So let's go ahead and look at our star chart again. Well, here it is on the very bottom where it says weight and mass. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. Well, the Statue of Liberty weighs 450,000 pounds. Well, let's see if we can get my scale factor. I don't know if that is true, if it actually weighs 450,000 pounds. I think they just made it up to have nice numbers. Alright, to get from 1 to 2,000, you multiplied by 2,000. But look at here, I'm going the opposite direction. So I can't multiply by 2,000, instead I have to divide by 2,000. So let's go ahead and do our math. Well, you see how it has 3 zeros at the end? And we have 3 zeros at the end? Take them off. Once you take them off, don't add them back on. Now you're just dividing 2 into 450. So how many times can 2 go into 4? Goes in there 2 times. How many times can 2 go into 50? Go in there 25 times. So 2 can go into 450 225 times. So your answer is 225 tons. Alright, number 5 is a very difficult problem because this is a 2-step problem. A baby drinks 5 ounces of milk every 3 hours. How many cups of milk does the baby drink in 24 hours? So if you saw the video with the guy drinking glasses of water on our Do Now, this is a very similar problem. It is a 2-step problem. First, we have to compare ounces to cups. Those are my measurements. Again, let's go back to our star chart. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. But this baby can't drink 8 fluid ounces. It can only drink 5. So to get from 8 to 1, you have to divide by 8. So 5 divided by 8. Well, let's see if we can do this. Can 8 go into 5? No, it cannot. How many times can 8 go into 50? Goes in there 6 times. Can 8 go into 20? Yes, it can go in there 2 times. And how many times can 8 go into 40? Goes in there 5 times. So a baby can drink 0.625 cups of milk every 3 hours. But we're trying to see how many cups the baby can drink in 24 hours. So how many times can 3 hours fit into 24 hours? Well, let's see. 3 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. It can fit in there 8 times. So you take how much the baby can drink and you multiply it by 8, because that's how many times the baby's going to be drinking during a day. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 4 is 20. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 2 is 50. But I did forget one step. I forgot to move my decimal over. I had to move it over 3 times. So let's move it over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The answer is just 5. The baby can drink 5 cups of milk every day. Almost there. Number 6. Sally is making 3 dresses for a wedding. She needs 400 centimeters of trim for each dress. How many meters of trim will she need for all the dresses? So again, this is a 2-step problem. But start with your measurements. We are comparing centimeters, and don't say dresses. Dresses is not a measurement. You have centimeters and you have meters. So let's compare centimeters to meters. So let's look up here, centimeters and meters. Well, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. But she needs 400 centimeters for each dress. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do 400 times 3 right now, or you can multiply your answer by 3 at the end. Either way, you'll get the same answer. I would just do it right now. So 400 centimeters for each dress, but you need 3 dresses. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 4 is 12. So overall, she needs 1,200 centimeters. Well, to get from 100 to 1,200, you multiplied by 12. So 1 times 12 is 12. So the answer is just 12 meters. All right, this next one's going to be it's going to be some fun here. Drew jogged 15,840 feet in 45 minutes. How many miles did he jog? Well, if we read this question, do I care how long he jogged for? No. So this 45 minutes is extra added information. I'm just going to get rid of them because I don't want to use that 45. I don't want that 45 to throw me off, so I'm getting rid of them. We just have to convert feet to miles. Well, if I look at miles and feet, I don't have miles and feet. I have feet going to yards and then yards going to miles. So that's my conversion here. I have to convert the feet into yards first. So let's convert feet into yards. Well, you're going to say, well, there's no yards in the here. Well, again, guys, we are doing more than one measurement jump here. So how many feet are in a yard? There's 3 feet in 1 yard. But I'm not going 3 feet. I'm going 15,840 feet. Well, to get from 3 to 1, you have to divide by 3. So 15,840 divided by 3. Let's see here. Well, 3 can go into 15 5 times. 3 can go into 8 2 times. 3 can go into 24 8 times. But I still have this extra 0 at the end, so bring him up. So in reality, I went 5,280 yards. Well, now I can do the second part of my conversion. I can convert the yards into miles. Well, look at this. 1 mile is 1,760 yards. I'm going to go ahead and flip this to the back so we can see it. So on the back side now. Miles, yards. 1 mile is 1,760 yards. But if we go back to my previous work here, we figured out we went 5,280 yards. Well, let's see if we can do our math here. To get from 1 to 1,760, I had to multiply by 1,760. Well, here, look at my arrow. I'm going the opposite direction, so I have to divide. Since we're running short on time, I'm just going to do this really fast. If you take 5,280 and you divide it by 1,760, it's going to give you a whole number of 3. So the answer is 3 miles. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at number 8 now. A 2.5K race is called a 2.5K because the race is 2.5 kilometers long. How many meters long is the 2.5K race? So here we're comparing kilometers and meters. Again, let's go back and look at our star chart. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. But I'm not going 1 kilometer in this race. I'm going 2.5 kilometers. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can go from 1 to 2.5 and you multiply by 2.5, or you can go from 1 to 1,000 by multiplying by 1,000. I think this way is easier, but you'll get the same answer. So 2.5 times 1,000 is just 2,500 meters. That is the answer, 2,500 meters. All right. 2 more. Emily's pet snake is 5 feet long. Kristen's snake is 50 inches long. Kristen says her snake is much longer because 50 is so much bigger than 5. Is Kristen right or wrong? Well, let's compare feet to inches. I think this one's pretty basic. How many inches are in a foot? Very good. There is 12 inches for 1 foot. But she said her snake is 5 feet long. Well, to get from 1 to 5, you multiply by 5. So 12 times 5 is 60. So Emily's pet snake is 5 feet long, which converts to 60 inches. So Kristen is wrong. Kristen is wrong. Because 5 feet converts to 60 inches, which is bigger than 50 inches. All right, we got 1 more to go, then we are done. Miss Lane's laptop stays on for 6 hours without being plugged in. Mr. Trevor's laptop stays powered in for 400 minutes. Whose laptop lasts longer? So here we're converting minutes and hours. That's what we are comparing. Well, there's 60 minutes and 1 hour, but Miss Lane did hers for 6 hours. Well, to go from 1 to 6, you have to multiply by 6. So 60 times 6 is 360 minutes. So Miss Lane's laptop was on for 360 minutes. Mr. Trevor's was on for 400 minutes. Therefore, Mr. Trevor's laptop lasted 40 minutes longer. I really hope y'all go over all these homeworks, all these videos I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be posting about 8 videos. I hope you watch them and get ready for your test. Alright guys, have a good one. Bye.